All right, this time we're going to build a shortcut that actually lets people automatically tell their roommates, parents, partners, loved ones that they're on their way home. And it has a few other bells and whistles as well. So let me show you that. Let's build that together. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the plus sign in the top middle part of the screen. Okay. So the first thing we're going to add though is a building block, and I'm going to search on the side, is street address. So we're going to go ahead and just do that. And this is where you would put in your street address. And the reason this is setting basically a variable so it knows kind of what it's looking for when it does the calculations. All right. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and get travel time, because I need to know how long from my current location it's going to take me to get to my street address. And because I drafted in, everything should be automatically connected. As you can see, there's a little line in between those two boxes. So I shouldn't have to change anything at this point. Although, if I am someone who likes to, whether it be bike or walk or whatever, I could choose that instead when building this. Or if I really do vary what I'm doing, I could actually have it ask each time, and it would ask me when I run this shortcut. But for now, I'm going to just go ahead and leave it as driving. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a message, because it's important to make sure you're letting that person know that you are on your way home and when to expect you. So as you can see, it put in something in this box and sent them a message. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. And then you see the keyboard on the left-hand side of that menu bar. I'm going to go ahead and touch that, and I'm actually going to delete it. I'm going to start fresh. So what I'm going to say is, I'm on my way home, ETA, and then let's go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to then just do like a space. So however I want to say it, right, that's what I'm saying. Now I actually need to choose, right, that like travel time. Okay, so but travel time isn't really what I want, but I need to select it on this variable selection bar. So I'm gonna go ahead and select travel time, and you'll see it's the best I have so far. But when I select that, it gives me some other options: arrival time, route name, distance. What I'm looking for, right, would be arrival time. Right, I need to know when they're going to show up, right? So arrival time. So I was just able to change that. Then I'm going to go ahead and say done. Now for recipients, go ahead and add. You would add the person you're sending this message to, and you can actually add multiple people. So if you have multiple roommates, that is something you can do. While you're building it and playing with it, I would recommend you putting yourself in there, so that way. That way it is, you're not kind of scaring them. So all right, I'm gonna go ahead and say done. All right, so I have that in there, and then I'm gonna go ahead and click on show more, and I actually don't want to see this that's being sent when run. If I say show when run, it'll pull up the messages app and show me that it's sent it. I'm actually looking to do this automated, so I'm going to actually unselect that because I don't want to necessarily see that. All right, the next thing, which is very important, is I actually need to add a play pause, right? Because it is important for me to listen to music or podcasts or whatever whenever I am in the car driving. And so if you just choose play and pause, right, it'll basically pick up where your device had left off. If it knows what you're listening to, that whatever app you're using, it will just pick up where you left off. And so that means play and pause, right? So that means if you are listening to it while you're getting in your car, it would stop it. But in most cases, it would probably already be off, and then you could tap the shortcut, and then it would go to that. So the next thing I want to do is I actually want to see my directions, right? So I'm going to show directions. I'm going to bring that in. All right. And what I actually will have to do is I'll probably have to type in that address again. All right, so that's my home address. It does make me type in it again. but it still works. Okay, now we basically have everything we need there to one, calculate how long it's going to take me to get home, what my arrival time would be, and message the person that I'm telling that, start my music, and pull up my map so I could get there easily. One thing I forgot to mention on this bottom part, so I could actually choose, if I have third-party maps software, I could actually choose those in there as well. So for example, I have Google Maps also on my iPad. So if you have another map software, you could also choose those instead. Again, another option is ask each time. But I'm just going to go ahead and leave it as maps for now. So I'm going to go up to the meatball menu in the top. We're going to give it a name. All right. So then what I'm going to do, and you do have to make sure you have permission for these things to access those, is I'm going to also then change kind of what that looks like. Perfect. And done. All right. Now what I'm going to do is say done here. Now we're going to activate it, but we're not going to activate it from here. We're actually going to activate it from our widgets. So that's another way to access your shortcut. So I'm going to go over to where my widgets are, and you can see I actually have some already set up here. To add them, if I go to the bottom and say edit, right, I could then hit the plus sign and I could choose from which widgets I want to use. But I already have it here. So I'm going to then just go ahead and tap on my way home. So it messaged me, calculate all that, and then pulled up the map, and I get to choose which way that I'm going to go home. So I hope that was a rather useful app for you to use. Go ahead and see if you could change it, make it a little bit better, and I would love to see how you've made it better, and or what other bells and whistles that you've had there. All right, until next time.